Transition. All right. Welcome to the Hinge Games live stream. I'm Bjorn. Sorry for the technical difficulties. We're a little late. Had to fix up a few things, but we're on track now.
Hi, I'm Jock. It's been a while. Oops.
Yeah.
And I'm a little off-centered.
Yeah, you are.
There you go.
There we go.
Also looking the opposite direction. Usually you're looking the other way. Now we're both looking to the left.
I can probably move this to this side, so then it's there.
There you go. That's better.
Mhm.
Okay.
So yeah, my face is not on screen, but I'm Julian, and I've been hired to do some QA log for French, and now I'm just I'm learning and trying to do things.
Yeah,
to
you're
help the
learning
team
Unreal. Yeah.
Nice.
So yeah, we had a list of. So yeah, what was I doing? So yeah, since we were last on stream, bunch of stuff gotten done. Jacques and I have been taking care of a lot of more administrative stuff and other things, not really related to development. But it's been a while and I've been plugging away a few things. So like mouse and keyboard support, that's ready for testing. There's pretty much the most difficult part of that was mostly the dungeon and puzzle builder. And so it should work now pretty well. There's probably a few bugs, but that's what Julian's here for.
Hello.
We've updated to Unreal 2. Or 4.27. So we're on the latest version of Unreal. I think we had a few material bugs, but most of those are fixed. And Jack's going through. Well, he'll talk about that in a bit. We updated some UI stuff for spending and receiving gold. What else? Drop Shadow fixed up some VFX stuff, health pickups, updated health pickups, game analytics we've introduced, and got our game running on a Mac, sort of. And I guess I'll just finish off for Jacques, doing some database cleanup, and Julian's working on a new room for the dungeons, actually.
Nice.
Oh.
Nice.
So
what I've been doing was I've been actually actively hunting a lot of art. So we have a lot more. Sorry, I'm still getting over a cold. We have a lot of art assets to try and integrate. We have just complete overhaul of our materials, I guess. We just have to. We had a database of a lot of old materials we were using that wasn't on our newest or streamlined shader. And then we have just a few more concepts to show, a few more things to show, but we're gonna start making a push on improving the demo and the gameplay and stuff like that. So we have a bit of a roadmap that we have planned for this as well. So possibly you can share that.
well, I mean, do we have a roadmap for the demo specifically? It's more the rest of the game, isn't it?
Yes, but it's more stuff that'll be reflected in a demo, but it's for the entire game. It's kind of like it's two-pronged thing. Like people that are playing the demo will get an opportunity to kind of see what the improvements are, and then yeah.
Okay.
Hopefully we won't be MIA for too much longer. If
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess we could go over. Let me launch the game here. We can show some of the mouse and keyboard stuff in action. Yeah. This. Oh, yeah, it's Jock's screen. We're not quite looking at that yet. There we go. Oh, I guess we don't need the gamepad right now because I'm not going to be using the gamepad.
No, look at that.
We do still recommend using a controller, but yeah. So now, let me.
I was about to ask.
Then there we go. All right, yeah. So we do still recommend using a controller, but now, yep, fully. I can scroll through this, and I still got like this has been working for a while as like the button updates, so like things actually show the proper button depending on if I. Oh, my controller's not even plugged in right now, so I can't even switch it back. Here, let's see if I can plug it in. So whatever you use, if you use a mouse, then it'll switch mouse and keyboard, then it'll switch to the buttons. If you use if I press anything on the analog sticks, or it'll switch back to the controller icon. But yeah, and it doesn't work for. Oh, there we go. Yeah. So yeah, if you're just moving the mouse around, it doesn't do anything. But if you click on anything, then it'll switch.
It's a really
yeah.
neat feature.
Yeah.
It's good to see that. I've been having a look at other unreleased games for the past couple of weeks, and there's I don't think I've seen that in any other game. Where
yeah, the switching the buttons.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Yep.
Yeah, we got to work. It should be working pretty much everywhere. So yeah, got all this stuff updated. So you can just like select which look. Everything's a button now. I can press space to join. I should be able to click on it too. Back button, or I can press backspace. All the buttons work, or you can just hesitate over. You can just press like left or right on the keyboard too. Then like if I make a new character, you can hesitate over stuff, and it just automatically updates the mesh. It's a little more obvious. Like if I go skin color, I can just drag back
and
and
match the
forth.
pass on these poses, which is kind of cool.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we got an animator to help out with Matt Zipchin helped out with the poses. So we have. So yeah, let's go back and see. Whoops. So yeah, depending on what weapon you're holding, there's a couple different poses for each weapon. And yeah, so basically, if everybody has the same weapon, it'll alternate a few different poses, so it's not like everybody will be posed the exact same way. But yeah, and I think. Ooh. Yeah, I have too many characters named Player One, I think. Yeah, those are all named. Those are different characters, but they're all called Player One because I don't bother naming them a lot of the time. Yeah. I gotta double check because like on the analog stick you can actually I'll have to make sure I implement like a scrolling thing here because you can rotate the character with the right analog stick. I don't know if there's currently my microphone there, but I don't know if there's currently a way of doing that because you should be able to like scroll the mouse and it'll rotate your character.
No, it works.
Or just click and drag, but yeah, probably just scroll the mouse wheel. Should be easy enough to do. So yeah, let's go. New character. Then yeah, hesitate over that. Do the different hairstyles. Hair color. Eyes. Armor color. Everything updates as you hesitate over it. And just click.
Nice.
This, if I just start typing now, it just automatically enters the text, so I can name the character.
Nice.
Bjorn, hit enter. I'm good to go. I can hit space a bunch of times, or I should be able to hit space a bunch of times to advance that.
Sorry, can you change the character's name using the keyboard now?
Yeah, I just did that with the keyboard.
Oh, right. Sorry.
You technically always could, but you needed to click in the text box to set it as your focus.
Oh.
But now, while that window is open, it always just sets that as your focus. And this is kind of weird, so like I just continued an existing game, and this one, material on the ground is currently broken.
Shit again?
Yeah, this is something else though. It's related to us cleaning up all the assets. So.
Oh, right.
Yeah, this is a new thing. But I did fix. This guy doesn't. So this guy occasionally said invalid text. And I looked at it, and it was basically like, so all the text in the game it goes through this sort of check to see what state the game is in, and it looks for a valid dialogue line based on the, sorry. I think we're getting, the sound from the game from somebody else's mic.
Oh. I'll turn mine down.
Yeah, because I'm hearing it twice.
All right, turn mine down. I'll turn my volume down a bit.
Yeah.
Trouble hearing you. All right, let's try that.
Well, you should be able to, if you right-click on the stream, you should be able to turn down the volume for the stream.
All right. It's already turned down. You still hear yourself?
Well, I can't hear me, but I could hear the music twice. But I think it's okay now.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, so basically what it was doing was going through, looking for a valid dialogue line for them to play, but there wasn't any matching game state to what he currently was in, so now there's a default one. But, yeah. I don't really think there's not really anything new in here. Oh, right, yeah. So I guess this has worked for a while, like I can just run around. Oh, but so I created a new character, but dropped into an existing game, so I don't have any weapons or anything. So, quit. Oh, and it crashed.
Nice.
It probably wouldn't be too hard to make it so, like, as soon as you start a game, it would check if you have a weapon and just, if you don't add something in there, right?
Well,
Oh,
the
then
thing is,
again,
like,
it would break the campaign. Never mind.
well, no, there is, yeah. There should be some checks in there to, well, I don't know, that's weird. Because it's like, I guess, yeah, I'll have to do a check, because you should have, I'll have to do a check about how the save system works, because you should have some, I'll have to check where the weapons are stored, because there's multiple things that get saved in different areas, right? So there's all the characters get saved in the character data.
Yep.
But then there's like the state of the world is saved in another data, but I think the inventory of all the loot you found stays on the character. So as far as that game's concerned, you've not found any loot. It's just when you come in, that's the loot you have. But I'll probably have to add something in that's like, if you create a new character, because like if you create a character to join like a friend that's already played a bunch of it, then you want it to have all the relevant stuff, right?
Right.
Yeah, so I'll have to make sure. Yeah, I should be able to do that. That shouldn't be, because we already have stuff in sort of the mission manager. So like well, actually, yeah, I just continue this. So just continue that, and because if I open up the debug menu and debug to a quest that's in, great. Crashed again. Why is it crashing anyway? Selecting UI global objects, blah, 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 destructible. Creating new objects while collecting garbage is not allowed. Ooh, interesting. Okay, I'll have to look into that. But yeah, basically, because we can debug to any point in the game, and even when you start a new character, it'll give you the appropriate equipment when you debug jump to a point. So it should be fairly easy to set it up so that if you drop into the game as a new character, it should give you some equipment, or a base level of equipment. Yeah, I won't look at that right now, but I will add a note for that. Okay, what was next down the list? So yeah, that's most of the keyboard support. Pretty straightforward. The only other thing, I guess, would be to unlock all of the combos and stuff like that. Basically, what we did is we just mapped all the special attacks to like the numbers 1 through 5 or 7 or something like that. I can't remember. So if you're in melee or ranged, and we updated the UI actually. Let's go back. Let's go to Trial Island. We'll start a new one. Easy. Doesn't matter. Procedural dungeons. New character, sure. Let's call this one player 2.
Angels loading screens.
So yeah, everything in the UI update. So now all the tutorials saying press WSD to move around, and when I get up to right click to enter melee mode, control the block. So that's going to be the interesting thing about this is all of the combos you can do regularly with like if you do the proper inputs for them, you can still do the combo. But the tutorials just say, oh, let's go. So just press 3. So you just press 3 to do that instead of having to do the whole. So in melee mode and then press 1. So melee mode.
I'm not sure if you've noticed the height map in there right now.
Hmm?
The height map. I don't know if you've noticed the height map there.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's cool.
Julian, can you see the difference between the previous version and this one?
It's pretty subtle.
The fact that the camera pans back, or
no, the tiling on the bridge texture is like a lot more uneven.
Oh right.
Mm-hmm.
Popped out of the ground more.
Yeah, there's actually like a height map that is it's using the parallax stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll have to.
The cracks in between all the little rocks are a lot deeper now and pronounced, so it's like.
Oh,
yeah,
but also kind of excludes the ones above it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's pretty subtle. Like you'll see it on the trim there.
Looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You see that little decal thing in the middle raises up a lot now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can press page up or page down to like cycle through stuff. And then if I press home, I can assign points. There you go. And then yeah, like all the combos are just press a button now.
Oh, that does not look good. Need to make it a bit more. It looks okay there. I think like the first height map looked a bit weird.
Oh, okay.
It's okay now. But yeah, once you start going in close, you can start seeing the steps.
Yeah.
Either I'll probably have to raise the steps or lower
I
it.
think what makes it look weird here is that the patterns repeat, right?
Yeah. I think this would probably better something a bit more subtle.
Yeah, like it is very pronounced. Like the difference between some of the highs and lows is, it almost looks like the character should be moving up or down a bit as they go over.
Yeah, I just threw a default level on each of them, and I'll probably have to clamp them down per material.
Okay. Oh yeah, because I can go in here. So if I look at my skills, so hard open up that menu. Go around, click on stuff. Wait, do I? Okay, so let's respec. I have 5 points, and I can just click on different things to respec. And also, like, all of these work. So basically, if I respec, I can select one and then go assign 10 points. So you can always click. If there's a little icon that says, like, press space to do this or R to do this, you can always just click on that too.
Interesting.
And it should do the same thing. Yep. Not gonna bother with that. But yeah, that's there's a few more things we need for the whole game for mouse and keyboard support. Namely like the other shops. So like there's the armory, there's another crash. there's the armory, there's the tome shop, and the consumable shop. So those will all need extra UI passes, but it shouldn't be nearly as tough as the dungeon builder and the dungeon
Yeah.
builder and the puzzle builder.
And that was done as well, right? Everything's ready to be tested.
Yep. Yeah.
Cool.
Let's see. Yeah, so we got some UI stuff. Let's go. We'll talk about the dungeon stuff right now. So, talk about Julian's new room, the gambling room, the casino.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll have to be showing it, but I
Yeah,
guess I can
yeah.
talk about it while you do.
Yeah. Well, we'll talk about it. There's drop shadow that I did. I got a note about that. So basically, we had a star before every. So we Bruno, a tech artist that was helping us out. Basically, he made a little shader thing for us because we have like characters that jump up. Like there's a character that jumps way up, and then you want to see where he's gonna land. So we want the shadow directly below him where he's gonna land, not necessarily where the lighting would naturally cast the shadow.
Right.
So, but that was always shaped like a star. So
Yeah.
I made a circle one and a square one, and now, like, when the frog boss jumps, he doesn't have a star-shaped shadow. He has a circle-shaped shadow. And I turned it off for the die because it doesn't rotate with the die. But, yeah.
I think I know
Okay.
it is that the boulders had those star shadows as well, right?
Yes, but now
Yeah.
they have circle shadows.
Yeah. And like are the shadows directly underneath the boulders then?
Yes, they might have two shadows.
Right.
I wonder if it'd be worth just turning off cast shadow on those objects then if it's going to cast two shadows.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
Like
Probably,
good
actually.
idea.
That would actually be smart.
Yeah.
Because the way I've been using those boulders, like for the meteor shower, you need to see where they're coming.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
I fixed it so you could see all the
Good.
shadows as
Sweet.
soon as they spawn now. So, although I think last I looked at this level, let's just take a quick look here. This
Yeah,
one,
this,
yeah. So everything is set up to just do the win 5.
Yeah. It's because I'm in the middle of working on
Some
it. So
refactored stuff. Yeah,
I was testing
that's
the
fine.
5 when I saved it. I wasn't exactly done, and I was not thinking about the fact that we were going to show it off.
Oh, that's fine. Well, just to show off the concept. Oh, I guess I'll try and stick to playing with mouse. In fact, I'll unplug the controller and put it over here. Oh, that's something else that we had to add for Steam, was basically if you unplug the controller, it automatically pauses the game.
This is great.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, go in here. And I updated this so it has a little image of some coins on it. We'll do like an art pass on it. So now when you walk over it, I don't have enough money. So we got some feedback now to show you don't have enough money. It scales it up and scales up your gold count and flashes it red.
Did you take off the messaging altogether?
Yeah, I removed it. Just because I figured we don't need all the text. We'll just do it all with
All right.
Alright, so I just gave myself a bunch of gold.
Exactly how much money unless the VFX says
It's
so.
Oh, well, it'll, like, because it shows you, like, how much you spent, right? Like, oh, okay, I have 900. But yeah, basically, the way it works, you step on it, it turns black, it rolls, and the money thing disappears, and then when it's allowed to roll again, it pops up again.
But yeah, the idea is basically to make a gambling room, right? Which allows you to spend your money to try and get something, and depending on how high the roll is, you get things that are of a different quality. So I was thinking having like 4, 5, 6 give something good, and then 1, 2, 3 to do something bad. But like we don't want to punish the players too much, so
No.
we need to think
can
about
do.
what kind of a hindrance we can cause to the player when they get
Yeah, for sure. And because that's the thing is, like, with our status effects, So yeah, you roll. There's a few. So all we have in here right now is the treasure stuff. Like the other one we have is like a meteor swarm in the puzzle room version of this. So like a bunch
Yeah.
of boulders fall from the ceiling and stuff like that, which I really like. And we could play around with that. Like a combat might start or something. Or a bunch of gold rains from the sky, I think was another idea you had.
Yeah.
But so I'll load up another thing here. So I created in a test gym. In the totem test gym, because for some reason I'm reluctant to create new test gyms. I always just add stuff to existing ones. But so I made this thing called the casino roller.
Sweet.
And you can there we go. So yeah, I made this thing called the casino roller. You can plug a dice into it. So right now you have the casino roller, and then you have the die that's plugged into it. And this is similar to your setup. It's not the gambling one, so it doesn't charge you money, but it'll just drop a ball, roll the die. And then what this does is there's a rewards data table. So if I look at this. So here's the rewards data table, and basically it'll just spawn a reward. In here we have the die value, and then you select what it's going to spawn. And so we can have as many of these as you want, and it's just like as long as you name them appropriately, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6.
Right.
And basically what it does is I made a new class that's called a casino reward.
Mm-hmm.
And basically it'll just spawn, and then we can set everything up in there. So it'll be like, okay, when it'll just spawn like the meteors, or it'll spawn. The default one I have is a treasure chest. And there's other options in here, like there's roll limit, so you can just say, oh, you get 3 rolls and then that's it. Or you can have a once per value thing. So that's off right now, and cleanup rewards is on. So after a reward is done, it will unspawn it.
Oh, so you can get the same thing twice.
Well, yeah, or not necessarily the same thing twice, but like, yeah, if you roll 4 twice, if you roll 4 and you get a treasure chest, and then you open the treasure chest, and when it'll disappear after you're done opening it, and then you can roll 4 again and get another chest, or whatever
that's what
other.
yeah. Cool.
And because there's a few things, like when cleanup rewards is on, it just spawns it in the middle. So I'll go to, and I think all of them are chests right now, because that's all I had implemented. So here we roll this. Oh, and I did some work on the die to make it more reliable.
Okay.
So it should output valid numbers more often. And I changed the effects of the treasure reveal, so it's a bit more, it's using a better, it looks better in the dungeons, actually. I don't know if it's balanced for all the light.
Alright.
But yeah, see, now I pick up waffles, and then treasure chest disappears, and I can roll again.
Fancy.
Yeah.
I noticed that the fix that we implemented for when the die is not like flat, it worked fine. Like the reroll works fine.
Yeah. Oh well, it should get because I think the reasons it was getting the not flat version, or it was outputting the not flat version, was because of something called a push block attractor. So in each arm of this, there's an attractor, so that if you hit a push block towards it, it'll get sucked onto it.
Yeah.
And the die is considered a push block, and that ball. Oh, and you can see the shadow of that sphere when it drops. It's now a circle, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Sweet.
But yeah, so what was happening before? Oh, and I set something up so that the die can get reset. It fell off, but I set something up so that the die can get pulled back towards the center if it's too far away.
Oh.
But in your setups, you have the physics blocker to prevent it from falling off. But yeah. So we can have, basically what we can do is just create like a bunch of different ones, a bunch of different things, and that way, because the way you currently have it scripted up, you have it all scripted in the level. This way, like, I'll show you the setup for the treasure chest. So if I go to one of these, basically, so I have the casino rewards, the treasure, and here's all the basic stuff. So on begin play, so as soon as it spawns, it like sends the treasure chest down and reveals it. And then when it's finished, it like scales it up and shrinks it down, and then plays the particle effect and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And oh, there's actually something in here I'm gonna have to pick. But so basically, but this is the one for the treasure chest, and then you'll see there's a bunch of different ones. So there's casino reward treasure buff level 1. So here it just picks a buff from this table that is level 0, and it'll randomize it.
Oh, wow.
So you'll just get a random buff of that level. And we can set it up so this one's a buff. We could create another table that is penalties or like bad things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we have any debuffs in the game?
I
know
oh yeah,
it
there's
slows
plenty.
down when you walk in the water, but
Yep, that's an example. But like anything that's a buff, we could easily change to be a debuff. So like for example, armor, it's like, well, we can change it from it being a positive number we add to your armor to a negative number.
Yeah.
Like super easy. Like
yeah,
we have, if I look at our status effects, like it'd basically be as easy as just creating some extra status effects, and we even have like armor. Okay, that's different stuff. Let's see. All the different damage types. General. Okay, yeah, so we have like bonus attack speed, and if we create a new one based on this, we can change, and like bonus range damage, anything that's a bonus, we could easily just change it to a negative number. And we can also control like we open up one of these. It's easy enough to change the duration. So this one lasts forever right now. Duration -1 means it lasts forever. But you can easily change it to be like, okay, it's 30 seconds. So I guess being as long as we have to be careful about slowing down the player's movement speed, because it just gets
that
annoying.
would just be annoying. Yeah.
Yeah. I think there's like maybe if you lower it just a tiny bit, like 95% movement speed instead of like 100%, then maybe it'd be like, wouldn't be that annoying, but it'd be like, ah, crap. But
Yeah, no, I was mentioning that as an example. Now that I want to use that, I don't want to annoy the players.
yeah, you got to be careful about it. But that's the fun thing about the gambling thing too, though, right? Is you put down the money, then it's like, oh, what did I get?
Yeah.
But we also might want to adjust how we apply that then, because like if they roll 1, then the only way to get it is to open a chest. Like they're probably not going to open the chest.
Oh, I see what you mean.
So do we don't want to just apply it automatically, or is that something that it's like maybe it could still be good, but if you open the chest to find out, that's the only way to know, right? Like maybe level 1 buffs are a thing you can get when you roll a 1, but also there's a lot of penalties you can get too.
Yeah.
Why not it randomly drops an enemy when you?
Oh yeah. That'll be one thing we can set up. So like one of these will be like it spawns enemies and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing too, so like there's the buffs, and there's also like, so you can change what's in the chest here basically. So here, this one's loot type equipment. There's loot type power equipment, so you get a high level piece of loot. There's a key or a treasure map, and then we can create all kinds of different rewards and stuff.
We should have a mimic enemy.
A mimic enemy.
The chest
You
with
roll
teeth.
one. Yeah, that's
You can do that. The treasure chest opens up. I love mimic enemies. Treasure chest turns into giant like teeth, comes out, and like all the.
One more character to concept and anime model.
Yeah, that's what we need. More content.
Yeah, that's what we need. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. Let me see. I wonder if there's because it's very difficult for me to do this without 2 active players. But the next one is pretty fun. Let me just make a tiny modification. Where is the oh, not potion, health pickup. So there, pick up. Okay, pick up. Yeah, if I just do this. So I can't test this one. I can't show this off with one player, but I'll do it with. I think I gotta open different level. And the weapon stream should be fine. So yeah, I made an update a while ago that was if you have full health, then you don't pick up a health pickup. Because that's really annoying when you're playing a co-op game and like you don't mean to pick it up and you're full health and there's another player that's low and you're like, oh crap, I didn't mean to pick that up.
Like,
but it's like
like
sorry,
in Gauntlet.
Yeah.
You pick up
Has that?
other
No.
players' food.
Mm-hmm.
They hate you forever for it.
Yeah. And so I fixed that, and then I noticed a problem of like when a lot of the Julie's friends were playing on stream, they'd go through and destroy all the boxes, and there'd just be a bunch of health lying around. And I'm like, okay, that's it. It just seems weird. There's a bunch of health lying around, so I changed it so that if everybody's full health, then you just pick it up and you get 25 gold.
Right.
Health pickup. But the other thing. So now, and I just changed it because this is only one player. So now the other thing is, if you walk over a health pickup and somebody else is low, you can interact with it and kick it, and then it'll fly towards them.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Do you have to aim? Does it go like?
No, right now it's just going forward, but
Right.
when there's an actual another player, you'll just kick it directly towards them. But it goes to where they are when you kick them. It doesn't go to where they're. It doesn't just automatically go to them. So if they're moving, they might miss it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, it's a nice little mechanic because this is definitely something I've ran into playing co-op games where I'm like, oh god, there's health over here, you need it. Boom.
Yeah.
And yeah, it can go. Yeah, because basically I have it. For testing purposes, I have it set up so that like right now it just kicks it like 3 meters, but it'll kick it to their actual position. And if they touch it at any point along the way, they'll just get it. Or if somebody else that's full health, like it overlaps them, they'll have the option to interact with it and they could kick it.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, pretty neat little feature.
Pretty neat. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah, I'll just put this back because yeah. So what I did here is so you don't pick it up when your health is full.
Mm-hmm.
So false, boom, and then I just like assign the interaction rather than checking like, is there another player with lower health than you? If yes, so if there's nobody with lower health than you, then you just pick it up. If there is, then we assign an interaction and you can kick it.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Every time I say something is neat, I feel like I'm saying something is neath, and
Neat. That's the thing I wasn't sure about the pronunciation of it. I've never been entirely 100% sure about the pronunciation of it.
oh, I might be wrong. Absolutely.
Oh well, no, neath is how we've all been saying it, but like it could be neat. Right. Also, I think there's other spellings of it where it's not th, and I think because it's common, like one of the other Egyptian gods is Set, but he's also commonly referred to as Seth.
Yep.
So could be the same thing. Okay.
I wouldn't know.
Yeah. So another thing I added is game analytics, which is pretty cool. So this is stuff like when people are playing the game, and we're gonna need to add an end user license agreement to make it sure it's okay that we're doing this, or to give people a heads up.
Oh yeah.
And it's something we were probably gonna have to do anyway with mod.io stuff to be like, hey, we're downloading content from third-party servers into the game. So, and it's user generated. So, I mean, you try and moderate it, but but yeah, with game analytics stuff, it's gonna be like we can track like if players are dying a lot in a certain location, And it tracks pretty much everything: how often people are using combos, how much gold they earn, how much they spend, where they're spending it, stuff like that. So yeah, that's pretty cool. And it took only like
That
2 days
app.
to integrate. Yeah.
Oh wow, that was easy.
Yeah, well, it's because I'm saying it took like half a day to integrate the plugin,
Yeah.
and then I posted like in our internal chat, I posted like, okay, what are all the things we're gonna track, and we had a spreadsheet, and then like a week later, after mulling it over and like Julian and I added stuff to the spreadsheet, I spent a day integrating it all, and I already had a bunch of that stuff inside the game being tracked anyway, so like how often you're doing combos and stuff like that. Like that was already tracked in there's like it's saved in your character stats, like how many times you died and how many times you do combos and things like that. Because sometimes it's some places in the games it's used for quest tracking and like tutorials and things like that.
Right.
So that was already tracked, and I just needed to plug everything into that. So, and it's all plugged in, and it's all plugged into the quest system too. So we'll track like when people start fail. Oh, yeah, that's the interesting thing. So there's a quest. There's a like a what do they call it? It's like a progression tracking. And
Right.
so now every combat in the game is considered like we track the progression of every combat. So it's basically like when combat starts, it's like, okay, it's the same as like, it's basically like a quest. So it's like, okay, combat has started, and you can fail by dying or you can complete it. And we'll have how long each of those takes, and we'll have information about what kind of combat it was and everything. Because
Right.
if it's on the main path, it'll always be we'll know exactly which combat it was. But if it's in a procedural dungeon, we'll at least know what size and who they were fighting and stuff.
Right.
And same thing for dungeons, so we'll know completion rate of dungeons, and we'll get the info of like what the seed was for the dungeon, or like what dungeon on Mondi. So we'll have completion rates for that. And
Sweet.
yeah, yeah, as well as all the quests in the game and when you complete all that stuff too. But you can't really fail quests in the game. You just die and then restart. Yeah. And the last thing on my list is Mac build. So yeah, we got a Mac Mini, got the game to compile. We can run it in Unreal. I can do a build for that's so one of the things that Unreal recently made an update for is the new Macs are using ARM chips. So they're using a different processor that's not Intel and it's not x64.
Mm.
So our game compiles for x64 but not for the new Mac chips. And the Mac Mini is the new Mac chip, so I can't run a package build on it. So we're in a weird place, and it's this super weird error that we're getting that I'm like trying to figure out. I guess we can switch back to interview here that I'm trying to figure out, but it's like I have had no luck online or contacting Epic. But yeah, so that's what I got up to for the last month or so.
Yeah, you should mention vacation too.
Oh well, that was yeah. Well, the vacation was over a month ago now.
Yeah.
I went on vacation for a month. Visited family. Yeah, so it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Got to see BC on fire. Man, there were a lot of forest fires while I was there.
Oh yeah, well, that's not fun.
Did you get
No.
to see our audio guy?
Yeah. Hung out on an island with him. Caught a big fish. Got some salmon.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did you record it?
I took a picture. I think I posted it in our chat.
Did you eat it? Like,
Did I eat
here
it?
on the
Yes, I did eat it. I ate half. Well, part of one side. Like the guy who owned the boat took two fish. We split one each. Because he
Did you eat
basically
the
it's one fish per person for the license for one fish per person per day, and we caught our fill like within an hour and a half, and he was on the phone like trying to get other people on the boat so we could catch more fish.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. So let's go over some concept art that we had done.
Sure.
All right. So sorry, I'm actually kind of a bit sick, so that's why I'm kind of not 100% right now.
Mhm.
All right. So I'm screen sharing. So what do we got here?
We're looking at the materials in your content browser.
Right. So the first thing I want to show is, did I show this? We have the first batch of weapons, melee
Nope.
weapons that are here.
Chuck, we're looking at the materials in your content browser right now.
Oh,
That's
I
what you're
thought I
sharing.
screen shared. I didn't realize I shared just the Unreal screen. Hold on a sec. Let me get to this. Uh, Screens. Change window to. There we go. Go live.
There we go. Okay, yeah, that's the one we want.
So yeah, did I show you guys this? We've got our new spear design, new
Oh, cool.
great sword, and our new this is the javelin, right?
Yep.
And then we have our cannon and our dual blades. And then last but not least, we have our crossbow. These are the first
Nice.
draft of each of them, and then we got to figure out if how we're gonna do the upgrades.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it'll probably be models. We'll start with the first ones and see where we go from there. And the next part was we had this brilliant artist named Raph Deland. I think she's based out of here in Montreal, and she did our boss gates for us. So this is this is kind of a cool thing. This is our the gate for the boss. We're gonna have some kind of a puzzle to open it up, and then boom, it falls down across the moat and kind of uses as a drawbridge. So you can kind of see the shape of the door kind of fits the shape of the drawbridge here. So
Nice.
see how that goes. We just have to measure the distance, make sure it works. If not, I'm gonna have to kind of finagle the door and kind of make it,
I mean, honestly, as long as it's more than 4 meters, should be fine.
Yeah, I think this thing's massive, so
Yeah.
it'll do. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
because
if it
as long as it
look-
doesn't look like you can dodge across it, basically.
yeah, pretty much. I think that'll. Well, I mean, the door's gonna be closed, so you can't really dodge across it anyway. So
Yeah, but there's holes in the side, though.
yeah, I guess. Yeah, those.
I feel like, I mean, are you with me, Julian? Like, if you're QA, you'd run up to this little corner, and then like try and dodge in to one of those gaps, right?
Oh, I'm gonna probably fill this in with a brick with brick
Oh,
wall.
okay.
It seems a bit far, but it's hard to tell.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll fill
Well,
it in with
that's
a
the
brick.
thing is like, yeah, we don't know the scale right now. But yeah, I guess the other thing too is like it's supposed to be a wall to keep people out, so having holes like that kind of would defeat the purpose.
Yeah,
Right, yeah.
I'll put bars in there or something.
Mhm.
It'll be fine.
Cool.
Or whoever makes it. Yeah. And then the second part I was doing is just going to do like a massive repass of all these textures. And I think the big thing I added was the height map that you guys saw before. I'll just kind of give a quick demo of the height maps.
Okay. Oh, and we tested this earlier today too. So we checked to make sure this is actually because we added graphic settings to our options menu, and it does actually activate and deactivate these. So we're good for lower end PCs and Switch.
Yeah. I think this is probably going to be a little render intensive, so it's not going to unless it'll probably run on the PlayStation 5 if you get those dev kits and
Mhm.
next gen consoles, but it'll probably be the first thing that gets flagged off. I'm pretty sure we're going to make this the first thing flagged off.
Yeah.
Okay, is it loading? Oh yeah, probably is. And I just have my stupid content browser occupying my entire screen because I'm dumb like that.
Come on.
Where's my load layout? Default layout. That's what I always do. There we go. 11. And this guy also doesn't have a weapon, so you can kind of see right here. We've got the height there. Height's not really. Yeah, the height's kind of applied there. It's kind of subtle. It's not
Yeah, no,
really
you can see
applied
it pretty
here.
well in the on the trim on the entrance.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really more for like this is the angle that you. This is kind of like the sweet spot for it that you'll see it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but you don't really see it when you're right above it as much. So this is also a very dark dungeon. It's not really kind of what we're going for.
But that's exactly what we were going for the dungeons.
No, it's missing all the secondary lights now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, when we
What
like
secondary
here,
lights?
yeah, so you see all the secondary lights now,
Mhm.
but then when we play the dungeon, like all these second lights are gone.
Yeah.
Well, just in the test, it's fine. We'll figure it out after.
Just in the test or in the actual
Just in the
dungeon?
test. Like, when you play through it, it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah. so I'm not so worried about it right now. Yeah.
Okay.
And yeah, it's just a lot of reorganizing, renaming, and because we purchased a lot of textures, a lot more than this, and we're just kind of in the process of integrating them all. And just I figured a cleaner way to do it than having the default. Like before, we kind of had a combination of the default naming convention, and then we also had like previous shaders that some of these materials were using, and then we also had a few other things. We're like, nah, let's just make it one. So now it's all in
Yeah.
one shader. I'm kind of giving it all the same naming convention, kind of giving it all the same thing. But this is gonna be the folder where I'm gonna have to like make uh the floor has like a dirt pass on it,
Hmm.
so that all they're like. But then we kind of also want to have the flexibility to use the same texture on a wall if we need to. But on the wall, we
Hmm.
don't necessarily want the dirt to be there, the same kind of
Yeah.
dirt. But also for the wall, we also want it to fade when you get close. Maybe not
Hmm.
these walls, but the walls that are here. So we need to make like two versions of the walls, one that
Hmm.
fades and one that doesn't. I'll probably have to apply the fade onto well, the dungeon probably they could all fade. I don't really care because I think you
Yeah.
end up walking through it anyway. But yeah, we kind of want a solid one for a lot of them, and then we kind of want a faded one for a lot of them, and that'll probably be we'll figure that out as we go. But yeah, just having the flexibility of having the floor with the dirt on it, the wall, and the fade. So we're just kind of going through each for each one, so we have the three versions of each material in there, and then I'll go in and integrate a whole lot more from that we just purchased and bought. So then we'll have a lot more like visual variety to work from. So yeah, that'll be fun.
Yeah. Yeah. Looking forward to it.
Yeah. Hmm. And I'm not sure if we ever talked about setting up some kind of a randomization of some of these, but I think we did it at some point in
Yeah.
time. It wasn't really necessary, and it probably
Hmm.
still isn't yet, but it's something we could probably look at where we could
Oh yeah, for sure. Because basically
randomize some of the yeah.
the way the dungeon rooms are set up, the
Mhm.
gameplay and the art is separate. So
Yeah.
what happens is the procedural dungeon system
Mhm.
calls in a gameplay room,
Mhm.
and then the gameplay room says, "Okay, I need some art, and
Mhm.
this is the shape of the room that I'm supposed to be."
Yeah.
So if it's puddles, or if it's rounded, or if it's normal, or if it's a puzzle room.
Because easy things to swap on the fly would be this brick wall texture on the
Hmm.
back, and
Oh well, the
then
thing is, it would just load in a completely different room.
a load in a completely different. Oh, okay, then never mind.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah, because that way when we're packaging things, we don't need all of them loaded at the same time. It'll just load in
Yeah.
whichever
Yeah.
package that
The
it
funny
is.
thing is like at any point in time, if I want to vary this up, which I could just do it
Mm.
per asset too, right? Like I could just load
Yeah.
this one up like this, and then load this one here, and then we
Yeah,
just
okay.
have
Yeah.
we'll have so it's really not the worst thing in the world. Like I
Hmm.
could if I feel that we need more variety, I'll just toss it in whenever I
Hmm.
feel like it. That's the
Well,
floor one.
yeah. The only thing with that, because with a lot of that, like the thing that's really going to pop out is like the three circles within the larger circle and the thing that goes down the middle. So like
Hmm.
swapping out the material behind that one type of brick for a slightly different type of brick, it's like it's not going to be noticeable to the player. I think a lot of the time, right?
Yeah, probably not. But I
Like I
mean,
think I think the lighting is a like when we already have that working, like the lighting is a more
yeah,
dramatic change for sure.
yeah, for
So
sure.
if we're gonna change it, like yeah, I think
Probably
especially
change the
considering the
model. Yeah,
yeah, like I think it makes more sense to change the model because
that's where you get the bang for the buck.
yeah, and unless we made a much more modular system
Yeah.
where, for example, like let's say that wall was broken down into five different pieces and then we'd randomize which five segments so there
Yeah.
was like some sort of emblem, some sort of
Yeah.
like top piece, some back piece, some bottom piece, or
Yeah.
something like that.
Well, we have it's basically one, two, three. Yeah, I mean, but the thing is these also kind of act as gates.
Yeah.
I did do some did this I did create some kind of a setup where we could just swap this one piece if we wanted to and have
Hmm.
them randomized, but I don't know if I really want them randomized. It's also
Hmm.
because like when the play area is this and you just kind of come to an end, and then I don't know if you
Hmm.
spend a whole lot of time looking at it, but
Yeah.
and that's the other thing is like, do we really care like I don't know if the bang for the if we were like a big budget AAA studio, yeah, we would have 10 of these, and each room that you would go in would look completely different. But
Mhm.
it really doesn't affect the gameplay or the feel or the visuals that much.
Yeah, yeah, for
So
sure.
yeah, just had to look nice for the first one, and then that's it.
Yeah, well, and yeah, like I said too, like, and this is the way you made a lot of this stuff is so that you can paint with the light, and we're already doing a lot of that, so
Yeah,
that's going to help
yeah.
with a lot with the
And also,
variety.
we'll if we have if time permitting, I'm not sure if I sort of planned for it was if for like the different the different levels that we're in, we're gonna try and get like a different, you know, modular tile set for this. It'll be the exact
Hmm.
same dungeon more or less, but
Hmm.
you'll have different like that's where the different walls will come in, different
Yeah,
walls,
yeah, yeah. That'll be
and you'll
so
have
you'll have a different one for like the Celtic
the
one versus the Norse
the
one and
Egyptian
the
level or
Egyptian one.
the
Yeah.
Edo period level or the
Hmm.
that stuff. So then
Yeah.
you just go in and you'll be able to swap with that group of them. So yeah, I think
Hmm.
that'll be it. Mhm. And maybe even the flooring as well. We'll have the different floor patterns. 'Cause, yeah, that's the dream. But of course, that's also one of the first things we're going to cut because it's not as important to have variety. It's more important to have the variety in the overworld, right? So
Yeah,
if we
yeah,
feel that we're running out of time and we need to cut something, that's like we'll just keep the same dungeons. Like it's fine.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. The thing is too, like I guess, and it's something we'll reassess while we're doing it constantly. Is basically like being able to use a lot of those assets because like a lot of the overworld is going to have a lot of cut stone and things like that too that we
Yeah,
might be able
totally.
to reuse in the
Yeah.
dungeons. So if the dungeons are similar to the overworld, then we can
Yeah.
reuse
And
that. That'd
Cutstone's
be
also
great.
not like a simply a Celtic thing. Like they've
Hmm.
had this in Mesopotamia. They've had this in the
Hmm.
Edo period of Japan. Or in China. They've had this kind of in Babylon. Like I mean,
Hmm.
and things we could change the stone color pretty easily. So
Hmm.
maybe it's just a matter of making these all like tinted yellow for the yellow
Yeah.
tint, and that'll be pretty easy to do as well if I were to
Hmm.
go in
Oh, that.
here.
Ooh.
What?
My only concern with that is like because we're doing a lot of the lighting stuff, and we like I'd want to make sure like okay, how does this look when we have like the purple or the pink? Like if we start adding color to it, we might get some weird
Totally.
results.
Yeah. And that's just one of those things where we check it out, see if it works. If it doesn't, we abandon it. Like,
Yeah.
it's just is that too weird?
It's not quite there, but yeah.
Yeah, like it's one of those things. But we'll
Yeah.
figure it out. But we could
Hmm.
also add like a lot more dirt to it if we wanted
Hmm.
to.
Yeah.
That's another one of those things where maybe it's just yeah, we'll figure
Yeah.
it out. And
Yeah.
then
Like I
if
said, we'll reanalyze. Or we'll keep analyzing this as
yeah,
if there's a let's say an economic way of doing it, then we'll absolutely do it.
yeah, yeah. So that looks really weird when we that's
Well,
red.
that's I mean
Okay,
that's that's pretty pink anyway.
yeah.
But yeah,
So if we start doing well, even then
yeah.
that's kind of a
It
bit.
depends on. That's the other thing too is like it's because there's definitely like I'm trying to think examples like Mega Man style color themes that you can go into for some of these
Yeah,
dungeons.
yeah. I don't know if I'm ready to
That's
go there yet.
yeah.
Kill the art direction.
Mm. Well, remember you said like the best art direction is like you give them like a kind of like this. I guess that's outside of your little arc though, right?
Oh, what?
Oh, you do the little thing where it's like you're going generally in this direction, right?
Yeah.
And
I
then just
get,
play around with it. But yeah, that's pretty. Mega Man is pretty far away from what we're going for.
yeah. I'm realizing more and more how important it is to kind of have that very solid what's it called direction or the very solid visual
Hmm.
visual language. It gets more and more important as you go along because like then it becomes like I know it's like funny to kind of make something quirky like that, but yeah, I don't think most people really appreciate it, even
Yeah,
though they
well,
think it's fun.
the thing is, like, it's okay doing quirky stuff like that, but it's as long as it's consistent and not
Yeah,
like out there, like it's
yeah,
like having it in our game where it's just like everything's one style, then randomly you have something else that pops out.
yeah. Totes. Anyway, could throw. Yeah, I don't know if that's enough of a difference to really even bother loading up another thing. If it
Yeah.
was random, I'd do it. But if it's not, yeah, I don't care.
Well,
It really doesn't matter because you just play this
yeah.
level here anyway.
Yeah,
And
you're
just kinda
mostly
use
looking
your
at the floor. Yeah.
walls. Yeah,
Yeah.
just it's a nice ambience, and that's it.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I'll say again, like basically, if we could break that wall into 4 separate modular pieces and just be
Yeah,
able to randomize those. So
yeah.
it's like there's the emblem in the middle, there's the base, there's the back, and then there's the top. And we could
Mhm,
just randomly swap out any pieces of those as we
mhm.
assemble it. Then I think that would be enough to like justify it. But
Nah,
if you're just swapping the texture in the back, then it's most players are they're just gonna see the 3 circles within a circle and recognize that wall.
yeah, pretty much. All right, well, not worth it until
Mm.
we have like 100 times the initial budget. So we'll see.
Yeah.
If the game sells like gangbangers, then we'll add
Mm-hmm.
that in. Oh,
Gangbusters.
gangbusters, right? The other one is a porno thing. That's I'm sick. You can't.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I don't think I have
See.
a whole lot outside of that as well.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I think we're good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm,
Yeah. Oh, we already went over the casino stuff. I don't know if there's much more to
mhm.
go over with anything else.
Yeah. If there's any Canadians in the chat, I hope you went out and voted. I guess
Yeah.
that's it.
I guess it's a little late. Maybe you can still vote
Ah,
in BC.
no. Oh, yeah.
BC, yeah, it's a six
Anybody in
o'clock
BC's
game.
watching us? Ooh. I have the news on another station. There's a lot of orange. Wow.
Really?
I mean, it's just big writings. They only have 15 right now to liberals 90, but yeah, there's a lot of orange on that map. But it's just
That's
really big
surprising.
writings in like Manitoba and Western Ontario.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, we're looking at a repeat of a liberal minority, it looks like. All right.
All right, we don't need to get into politics.
Yeah.
That was a mistake.
All right.
Anyway, we'll call that a night.
Yeah.
Have a good one, everybody.
Good night.
Cheers. Have a good night.